I am now in Norway. It's been a full day of traveling, so I'm not gonna lie, my energy is pretty low. But I have found one gym here in the city, and I'm thinking, even if it might not be the best workout, and I did manage to both forget my chalk and my resistance band, I did bring a set of active P bars, so it's something, but it's not my full setup, which is like super stupid from my side, but it is what it is. So I'm thinking, let's just go to the gym, see what I can do, and at the end of the day, if I just do something, that's gonna be better than nothing. So let's give it a try. We are now at the gym, and to my surprise, I did find a set of resistance band. Back in Sweden, we never have them loose in the gyms because people tend to steal them, which sucks. And that's one reason why I think calisthenics just doesn't grow either, because most gyms don't have the equipment for it. But I did bring the pellets. I will be able to perform almost a full workout as in the normal gym, starting off with some Maltese, then some supinated full planche holds. This is just a real gym as well, so they have the dumbbells and some bars as well. So I'm thinking some straight arm raises as well to wrap it up, get some good pump and some reps as well. Not just only doing the statics hold, because you get sort of bored in the long run only doing them. But let's start with some Maltese and see if my setup is good enough. Hope it's stable enough. Just gonna grab the rope or the band and have it inside the rope. I think that's gonna be good enough. Slightly lower than the normal bars we usually train at, so the help is gonna be slightly less since the resistance band isn't getting that much stretch. But it will do. It's definitely better than having no band and me struggling like fucking crazy. One thing that I didn't find was the liquid chalk. Obviously they didn't have it. Most gyms just never have it. At least I still got my AirPods and some bangers. Oh. This setup will do. Probably not 8 seconds, which is what I aim to get, but slightly over 5 seconds, I think. I'm gonna rewatch it just see the time. Otherwise, I might do one more loop with resistance band to just get some extra tension, some more help, and maybe increase the holds to slightly longer so we get more time and tension, which is what I'm seeking. Let's do one more set. One thing I really need to focus on when I'm doing the Maltese is to have the P-bars wide enough. Now this floor is kind of slippery, so preferably you want to have a pretty solid floor when it comes to grip at least. Because the Maltese is really only in the scenario when your hands is in the same level as your shoulders. Otherwise, when the shoulders are higher up, it's more towards the wide planche, which is also a hard move. But if I'm training for Maltese, I really want to have that lean. It's pretty big difference when it comes to connection. Because when you're in that position, it's way harder to get the protraction connection, whereas the sort of wide planche, you can still get the protraction, slightly easier to activate the core and get the rest of the body. But with that maximum Maltese form, it's way harder. Freaking heavy, but that was some good lean. Actually gonna try to do the final set with the pronated grip. For the other ones, probably noticed I did it with supinated. It's more comfortable, it's better without chalk in my opinion. And especially if the floor is slippery, I feel I have more power to actually pull them in towards my body. But I will give it one set or one attempt with the pronated. Ain't happening now. Wasted too much of my energy. Maybe I would settle with Maltese for today. It's not my strongest day, I told you in the beginning of the session, so I wasn't expecting to do that much. The last set I did though, that was pretty damn good. So I'm happy with it. But let's move on to some just supinated normal planche. I think that's gonna be better holds. Whoa. Not too bad, not too bad. I do feel slight fatigue in the protraction, so I'm losing the scapulas a bit. But the lean is good, time and tension is also pretty good. So at the end of the day, we're gonna get some progress. Let's do another set. And another thing with supinated planche, but also all planche in general, is that the glutes are really crucial. And I notice on my holds that I'm not even squeezing it or squeezing them, but not even close to what I should be doing. The more I do it, the more pressure I'm gonna take away from the shoulders, the cleaner it's also gonna be. Now it looks like my hips and my legs are sort of having this slight bend. Even if I'm holding myself up, it's still planche, but the form is just, it's not perfect. So I think I'm lacking the glutes and just really gonna try to squeeze it and see if my form can be even more clean. I don't know, shorter hold, but the form might have been better. I don't think my form was any better for that second set either, but fuck it. Let's just do one last one and see how the form is for this one. I will really try my best to get both the holding time but also the form as good as possible. Better than the first 2 sets, to be honest. So a good way to wrap this exercise up. I might actually be able to fulfill the full program. I did find a bench, I did find the dumbbells I needed for the Maltese races, and to my surprise I also found a dip belt. Not a grenation one, so that's slightly worse, but it is a dip belt, so we are going to be able to finish the workout with just some weighted dips, like always. So it's going to be a pretty enjoyable workout and a good one as well, with just all the things I need to do checked off. But let's do 3 sets of just straight Maltese races. I think they have 17.5 kg, otherwise I would do around that weight as well, like usual. Let's get started. They didn't have 17 but 16, so I think slightly less, but then hopefully I'll be able to do 10 reps for the 3 sets. First set pretty solid, but trust me, when we're getting into the third one, it's gonna be pretty much of a struggle, because you feel like the muscles is one thing, but when you have this straight arm strength, sort of target the tendons as well, and they feel more and more, even if you get pretty good amount of rest, they just start to increase in sort of fatigue. Set number 2. I'm also going to tell you that there's a lot of things you can do to just simulate the Maltese or planche even more. One of them being the protraction. Like, even if this is mainly for the shoulders, straight arm strength, if I focus on having the protraction, I'm still going to have a lot of tension on it. I'm going to gain a lot of strength and connection in that part as well. So at that point I will be training straight arm strength, but also protraction strength, which is both going to be able to transfer to the planche. So win-win. One last set. Pretty damn solid. Let's move on to some weighted dips, and then we're actually done for today. So this is the setup for the dips. Not the best one for repping high weights, but to be honest, I'm not used to good setups for dips. The normal gym I do also just a home build sort of rig, and most gyms also just have these sort of casual setups, but it works. I'm thinking we're gonna do 70 kg for 3 sets. Last session we did do 80 kg for the reps, but I'm slightly sore in the front chest and also on the setup. It's just not worth pushing it that hard. So 70 kg is gonna be more than enough for getting some solid pump and some good strength as well. And this is the belt I found. Hopefully it holds up the weight. It should be leather, so to some degree strong material. Gonna find some more of these hooks to extend it because it's just way too short to even have a few weights on. Let's see if I found them, and then we can get started with the actual reps. I did find a new belt, and now I could combine the sort of clips from both ones. Hopefully make a pretty solid one that we can have our 3 plates on. Still a fucking tight belt, but it is doable. And we did do 10 reps. So let's do 2 more sets. Ooh. Slightly heavier for the second set, but still 10 reps. Let's aim for 10 on the last one as well, but if we were to get 8, still pretty solid. I'm gonna tell you something and why I recommend Gornation so much. This is from one training session. We're gonna bend it back and still finish the last set, but this is what I mean. Gornation has made this extremely bulletproof. I dipped over 130 kg with them, and they are holding up great. But this is the casual ones. They're not meant for pushing the weights. They're great for just casual reps and low rep or low weight, but as soon as you add, they just bend. Let's give it another attempt. Oh fuck. Yeah, it's good. I lost count after about 5, but I think it was around 8. Not 10 this time, but in total that's 28 reps. So good time and attention. Good load as well, to be honest, on the dips. So I'm satisfied with it. But that was one more set and we bent it again. I'll fix it, hang it back, but not good stuff. Imagine doing reps and they just dropped mid-set. That's pain. I think that's gonna be a wrap for today's session. This is a public gym, so it's gonna be pretty inappropriate to just start flexing here. So keep it for the sessions when we're back in Sweden again with the normal routines. I will try to get a front lever session tomorrow as well. It's gonna be pretty difficult since I haven't seen a solid front lever bar here yet, but we'll make something. We have the Smith machines, we have the squat racks as well. They are usually pretty good as well. If you just put up the bands, you can get some solid reps, especially just holds. For the reps or the pull-ups, you need the sort of setup to be a bit more sturdy, but we'll figure something out. So I'm aiming for a session tomorrow as well. During the day, we're gonna go on sort of a fishing trip, but for the evening, I'm really looking forward to a workout. So I'll see you guys then. Hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Choo choo!